Hey, this is Joey and Mike from Powerbomb Weekly. The video you're about to watch right now does not have all the fancy stuff here on YouTube, and I apologize deeply. Life has been getting in the way, and it's more important to me that you get the video here now instead of just waiting 3 to 4 weeks before I can get it out. I apologize, but keep up, and we'll be back to the fancy stuff soon. Thanks a lot for understanding.
More content in the future. Thank you, guys. Anyway, yes, Rumble was fine. Everything was good. And then let's talk about how Raw took a gigantic shit.
So welcome to our Raw review after what was a really good Royal Rumble. So, I'm going to...
You think we can do this in 15?
Oh, we can do it in 45 for sure.
I don't want to do it in 45.
Well, so then let me talk and you just... All right. So, we welcome...
I'm the one who talks fast.
You're the one who likes to just go on. All right, so...
You keep me out of the weeds and we'll do it together.
Okay,
we're already in the weeds by talking about being in the weeds. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Raw recap of February 1st, 2021.
Welcome, Drew. Points at the sign. Wasn't that a cool Rumble? I got respect. I'm going to go talk about the matches. Here comes Edge. Edge, you've been my mentor. Edge says, you've been a mentor.
No.
Sorry, Edge, you've been a mentor to me. I'm happy about you. But Edge says what you've been thinking. What the F is wrong with you?
I'm potentially your opponent.
You should be beating me up, not showering me with compliments.
Okay, did you catch what Drew said next?
Well, finally he goes, I will let you know. He goes, so have you made your decision?
No. Okay, so one, Drew's sword entrance is getting old. He should only do the sword entrance on the pay-per-views. He should not do it to come down to cut a promo.
He didn't have the sword on the
Yes, he did.
Not on the pay-per-view. He didn't stick the sword in.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
And then he did it to cut a promo in the ring to open Raw up. Anyway, and that's not even in the weeds. That's just like...
okay.
The sword looks cool. I'm tired of seeing it every time he comes down. Okay? So, Edge says what the audience is thinking of, I might be your opponent. Don't do this. And then
It didn't work with Goldberg.
And then Drew says he respects him. And then he says, Edge, you're awesome. And he makes this line. Edge goes, why would you do any of this? And he says, I'm not an opportunistic champion.
Oh, yeah.
And I go, you literally sucker punched Goldberg with a headbutt and speared him.
But you're a part of the universe you don't remember last night. He's talking about the thing that they want you to remember, which is that Edge is the opportunist.
I wrote down, oh my fucking God, Edge just destroyed Drew on the mic.
Yes.
He destroyed him by saying, as you said, are you stupid? He goes, I am the ultimate opportunist. That's what they called me. I cashed in the Money in the Bank on the dude who was dead on the mat to win the title. You're dumb if you don't think I'm going to do it again because I don't have much time left. My goal when I leave is to be the champion.
To have the championship I never lost.
And then Sheamus. Oh, yes, that's also the big thing is Edge has constantly referred to, I'm getting back what's mine. I never lost it.
So, are you challenging me? I'll let you know when I challenge you. You'll know.
Sheamus comes out.
Finally!
No!
Sheamus finally turns on Drew.
Sheamus comes out, and I don't know why. Why? Why did he turn on Drew? Did I miss a set of dialogue
They did
here?
not explain why.
No, they didn't at all.
But we know why.
No.
We know why they should say it.
Well, that's because we watched the show. But literally, what happened is Edge tells him, I'll see you around. Sheamus him out. He gets out the ring, and Drew's just like, yeah, all right, we'll see how... And then he gets bro kicked out of the middle of nowhere.
Oh, he's like, no, because, okay, so Sheamus is like, why are you letting him disrespect you? You don't disrespect...
Did I miss that?
You must have.
I must have missed this in the... They had to have cut or something, because my thing literally went, he gets out, and then the thing cuts, and then Sheamus from the other side of the ring bro kicks...
Okay, so basically right Sheamus is like, Drew... You need to worry about things like this. You need to worry.
Oh, and by the way, Drew sold the bro kick like it didn't hurt him at all. He sold it like he hurt his feelings.
Well, we're going to talk about feelings in a minute. But I still love the Sheamus, the bowler look on Sheamus.
Who was the announcer that said, I don't know why this happened. And then one of the announcers said, I know why this happened. Was that Samoa Joe?
Yeah.
I wrote down, I don't. Backstage, Sheamus cuts a promo as a whiny best friend heel. And
Drew is no longer my friend.
And then some jobber has Sheamus's bags.
Drew Gulak. That's Drew Gulak.
I thought it was Drew Gulak, and because he's just like, here's your bag, Sheamus.
All right, then next match.
Man, if you're so good, go someplace else. You could be one of the people to be like my brass ring, my brass balls, my
Riddle versus Bobby Lashley for the belt.
You literally chase R-Truth around for the 24/7 champion.
Riddle versus Bobby. Yes, no.
Matt Riddle versus Bobby Lashley.
I'm like, well, I really like the way. I just really like the black and gold look.
I wrote down. Apparently, his championship match that would come later is later.
Yes.
I realized that I've never really liked a Lashley match.
Mm-hmm.
I've never cared for Lashley's matches. And honestly, I don't like his weird...
Yeah. That's the Dominator from TNA. So he does the Hurt Lock in the ropes. Riddle wins by DQ because...
Riddle gives a visual tap.
MVP tells Bobby to stop. Bobby looks possessed and pissed. Does not want to listen to MVP. Then the MVP walks behind him like a scolded puppy.
Bobby Lashley legit looks like someone you would never, ever, ever want to meet in a dark alley.
Or a clean out, or a light
lit alley. He looked so
possessed,
dominatingly good here. And the only thing I could think of is why are we going to get another match with him and Riddle? He literally destroys Riddle every week. And why would you do that to Riddle, who just had one of the better performances in the Rumble?
We have a whole lot of...
This was a -1 star match, by the way.
There's a whole lot of commercials. We go back to the ring. There are a lot of people checking on Riddle, and he doesn't even appear to know where he was or what happened.
I never got any of this. I immediately go to Charlotte and Asuka, who apparently lost the belts on the pre-show.
So let me go ahead and fill you in what you missed.
Go for it.
Randy doesn't know how it is possible for Edge to show up and let alone win. I promised we would never hear from you again. No, you were trying to make me look like a liar. He brings up all the shit from last year. On the plus side, his burns are looking great.
Oh, they cut that into another section of my show where he basically says, I beat you up because I love you, because I wanted you to stay home with your family.
So then we have Mustafa Ali with Retribution versus Xavier with Kofi.
So apparently, they have decided that Retribution is so bad that they don't ever add it to my recap. So I'm okay with this. Continue to not give me Retribution.
Xavier Woods has added the discus clothesline to his movement set. Also, you did notice, I mean, it was hard not to, you did notice all of the Brody wear that they were wearing. Mm-hmm. That all got put out for auction. He attempted Retribution shenanigans that backfire. Xavier pins Ali. Then we go to Miz TV.
Why are we still here? He got eliminated in the Rumble.
Who?
Well, so Ali eliminated Xavier.
Yeah.
And then Ali got eliminated by Big E, didn't he?
Yes.
So then Ali just lost again to Xavier.
Yes.
Who Xavier lost to...
But Kofi was there this time. I don't know.
Okay.
So then we go to Miz TV. They point to the sign. Please welcome Bad Bunny. I'm like, oh, it's the... Okay, I thought Bad Bunny wasn't actually going to come out.
By the way, no. So did you get the shot of Bad Bunny showing up in the Bugatti?
No.
Okay, so Bad Bunny showed up. He drove through the back tractor-trailer entrance for the ring and everything like that. He got out of a white Bugatti, by the way. Awesome car. And the only thing I could think of is okay, so this guy is made to look like an important superstar individual. The other members of the team who are actually on the roster don't even get that much production shot for them.
Well, this is so freaking crazy.
Okay, go for you.
So after that, this is so crazy. So then at Miz TV, I'm like, please just shoot them all. And then Bad Bunny says, hey, the only reason I'm on this show is I want to bring out my good friend. And out comes Damian Priest. Damian Priest destroys everybody in the ring. Then I go to Priest versus Miz.
Match 2, Priest versus Miz. This was fine.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, this was a 2-star match.
Johnny Drip Drip being a distraction.
I love that they called him Johnny Drip Drip on Corey called him that. Didn't he? Oh wait, no, it wasn't Corey. It was Samoa Joe, wasn't it?
No, yeah, Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe called him Johnny Drip Drip. Okay. Anyway, this was Priest's debut match on Raw. They tried to make it very interesting because they put the Bad Bunny thing there, and clearly this is where Priest got redirected after his stuff got kiboshed. This was fine, but I would have had him. Why not have Priest come out and just slap, Drew McIntyre in the face?
He's not ready for that yet.
Priest is ready. Priest is 100% ready to fight Drew McIntyre.
No, he's not. He's got to do some time.
He's got to do some time in the
Ricochet
semi-main league, so they stick him with Miz and Morrison, who...
Look, Miz can make anyone look good in the match. Not so much this time.
Priest made himself look great in this match, except for the fact that the only way that Priest could win was by Bad Bunny helping him.
Priest,
fucking buried.
Priest hit his reckoning. He's not Ricochet yet. Which, by the way, I looked. Ricochet lost on main event this week.
Yeah. So I'm guessing they're not going to let him do the Falcon Arrow because it's a little too dangerous. So they gave him.
He's got the reckoning still.
Yeah. So they gave him the reckoning as his finish as opposed to the Falcon Arrow. So
the next match.
I don't know if he lost that or not.
Lucha House Party versus Hurt Business.
Nope.
So Lucha House Party versus the Hurt Business. MVP on commentary. MVP's like, I have no idea what's going on with Bobby. Let's not talk about it. Denies, but he's denying there's any friction between Cedric and Shelton. This is for the belt, by the way.
What?
This is for the tag team championships.
Okay.
It is a standard match. There's no issue between Shelton and Cedric yet. We go to commercial. Nice DDT from Furry Ears to Shelton. There's two very beautiful top rope moves by the Lucha guys. They've broken up by Shelton. Cedric is about to win. Shelton tags himself in. Cedric's not happy, but he accepts it. Hurt Business wins the match. No friction.
Because why would you piss off Bobby Lashley? Because that's why Bobby Lashley snapped, is he's sick and tired of these people.
All right, then we have Charlotte and Asuka versus Mandy and Dana versus Lana and Naomi.
Can we please talk about this just for a second? By the way, they did a promo in the back, in the negative space area, where Charlotte and Asuka said some stuff that was completely pointless, and then Asuka basically says, Asuka was ready, and you were dumb. You dumb little girl, is essentially what Asuka said.
Yeah, she's not wrong. She's not wrong.
Okay, so they just lost.
Yes.
We're not having a rematch for the rematch belt, right? Okay, rematch clauses apparently don't exist anymore, right?
Right.
So now we're going to have a 3-way women's tag team match to determine the number 1 contender for the people who just lost. So they apparently don't do the AEW point system of you go back down in points if you lose or something, right? But also, Asuka and Flair were thrown together because Lana got hurt and Charlotte was ready to come back. Okay. So, patched together team.
Yes.
Lana, who was supposed to be with Asuka, is now with Naomi, who's back. Because the roster is thin, guys.
Because that was that really nice black butt that was in the women's match.
Yes, and Naomi, you can still go, and you still have a nice booty, hon.
The rear view me any day.
So then, you have Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke.
Who have been in a tag.
Who are the only people who have been in a tag team long enough that isn't a hodgepodge patched together shit, and they lose!
Yes. Well, why does Dad need to keep coming and messing with Charlotte? Naomi pins Asuka.
Oh, God. By the way, they did a pre-tape promo on the walkout explaining why Naomi and Lana were friends.
Oh, why are they? Because I don't know.
Essentially, they used to travel together, and if you remember, Lana...
This is also Lana can get put through another table, right?
Lana...
or is this so that Lana can pin...
So I actually wrote down, is Lana's self-esteem about her so low that she has to have a traveling partner? And the WWE is just like, okay, you get a buddy. Because remember, her behind the curtain thing that she did is, I'm so broken and sad because people make fun of me on the internet because I don't have my husband to hang out with, you know. So does she just has to have a buddy to hang out with? Like, this was so dumb.
This
and
is
also,
so that
Flair and Asuka lost the belts. Asuka's mad at Flair for losing the belts. She should have said, no, I'm going to go back to my original partner. Because guess who won the fucking match? Naomi, who just returned, who had a great showing in the Rumble. Did we mention that she was number 2 and lasted until almost the end? And then Lana. Lana and Naomi won.
Right. So this is so that Naomi can win the match, and then Lana ends up getting the pin. I don't know.
This is awful.
Okay.
This is just awful.
So then we get Drew.
Oh, and they had a 1-star match. It was pretty shitty.
So we have Drew.
Drew speaks.
Drew is sad. Is it 15?
It's just so terrible.
So then he's like, this is our 20-year relationship. And then Dad goes, Sheamus said 15. Which is it, 15 or 20?
He's like, you know, Edge, I respect Edge. Remember, Drew respects legends. Apparently Bill Goldberg is going deaf at the age of 54. So Drew respects Edge. And then the announce girl is like, what about Sheamus? And he's like, I don't want to talk about Sheamus. And then proceeds to talk about Sheamus. And he's like, you know, some families fight. And me and Sheamus, we've had a lot of fights over the years with each other. Something in this was different. Do you have the pre-tape with Edge and Orton in the
Then I have something before that.
Oh, God.
Carlito and Jeff Hardy versus Elias and Riker.
I guess, Carlito, welcome back to the mid-card, homie.
That you don't even get to watch on Hulu.
That I did not get to watch.
I wonder if when it's on Peacock, you'll be able to watch all the matches.
If we have a minute here in a minute, I want to talk about that for a second.
So first 5 minutes of the matches, let's beat up Jeff. Who's going to beat up Jeff this week?
Why? Because Carlito actually...
Carlito finally gets tagged in.
Good. He looked like he could bump.
Kent's tagged in. House of Fire. And then that was quick. Backstabber, Jeff Swanton. Jeff pins Elias.
Pointless.
Edge Grumpy interview.
Also, most of the people in the women's match are traditionally singles. If you have problems with your roster being out for COVID, why didn't these people get put in single matches that could have gone longer instead of a multi-match tag team match? Okay.
Edge endorsed. Sorry.
Same thing with Elias and Riker and all them. Why didn't they have singles matches against Carlito and them so you could spread this roster out a little bit further?
So then we have Edge Grumpy interview.
I loved it.
Tonight, Randy, this ends. So my question is, at this point in time, is like, so what about being set on fire? Is that all done? We're gonna have an answer soon. But I'm like, okay, so Randy, with a roster so thin, Randy gets 2 storylines.
Randy gets 2. That's why I said, screw you, Randy. You are responsible for this. Take a shot. This was good, and then I love the line where Edge said, I'm going to pay you back for every time that I had to hear my daughters cry that I couldn't carry them to bed because my arms were surgically put back together.
Yeah, no, it was...
God, man, it sounds so weird because we love Edge. We've talked about Edge over the years, and because it's the relevant section that we're at right now. But Edge is better now than he was a year ago when he first came back. Right. This is the best he's ever been, and he's only been back 2 weeks.
Right. And as long as we don't ever have to watch or endure the greatest wrestling match ever again.
They should have just not called it that. I thought it was fine. Match 4. Oh, by the way, I wrote down, they better not drag Edge into this bullshit.
Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Cross. But before the match...
Oh, good God.
Edge, walking backstage...
that's right.
Sees Damian Priest.
And
we need kids like you. I like you.
Edge passes the torch to Priest. I felt that's
endorsed.
What happened.
I wrote endorsed.
Maybe not passes the torch because they haven't had a match.
But he definitely endorsed it.
But if Edge, if you retire and Priest is your last go-to, I approve. I absolutely approve. Not because he's on my roster.
I don't like Nikki Cross's new music. I want to go back to the screamy, yelly, hardcore
I don't
thing.
like Nikki Cross at all, and it's not because you look like a foot. It's just I don't think you're that good.
I really do.
I don't think she's that good. I
She's
really
not,
don't.
Yeah. Cross wants to know what she wants from her. It's time to
This
fight.
was so dumb.
Lexi being so adorable and cute. I'm sure your wife loved the hopscotch.
Oh, the wife pops for Alexis, which is cool, and then but they're back to it. And the thing I had about this was in the start for all this is Nikki's doing this thing where she's yelling at Alexa, "Why? I thought you were done with me. Why?" And then I thought, did Alexa ask for this match?
Must have. It was never made clear. And then there was a few minutes in the middle of the match where Bliss was finding it very hard to smile and be silly and cute because he was getting beat up.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Hopscotch.
That was awesome.
And then Alexa looks like she used to.
Oh, God.
Now,
God.
I did what you asked me to this time.
Okay.
When they switched back and forth, I stopped it.
Mm-hmm.
I took pictures.
Oh, did you?
And then I stopped it.
Strangely enough, on this one, I think it was the same people.
Nope, it was not.
Okay.
And I will, and you will see it here, and here. You can see that they're very different when we do the retake. I did that for you this time.
So the Thunderdome. So also, that means that WWE is keeping your image. I don't know what the contract looks like. Maybe you can talk a little bit about this. Definitely for a little bit of Peacock stuff. But also, that means that they're keeping your likeness for future broadcast use. Now, when you go to a house show, they still have cameras set up, right? If you go to the main show, you still have cameras set up. I do not know if they say this. I'm sorry. I don't remember if they say this for the live stuff now, right? It might say it on your ticket printout. But when you go to a house show, there's an announcement that comes over the monitor that says, there are cameras present. Mm-hmm. You are essentially consenting to being on camera even though it's a house show.
Yes.
So
I've only been to one house show.
I don't know what the legal thing looks like on the letter that you get when you try and sign up to be on the Thunderdome, but WWE is keeping your likeness for future use.
Sister Abigail, Nikki.
Wait.
Vince Cross.
Alexa changes outfits.
Yeah, I said that already.
And then she comes back.
Yeah.
And then she actually did something that was great. She alters the Sister Abigail.
Yeah.
And drops her. And she's like, yay! And the ref does the coolest thing where he's like, I'm not ready. No, get away from me. He's just like, nope. He's like, you're a big ball of crazy. Nope. He's like, you win. Congratulations. I'm out. That was, the hopscotch was amazing. And the ref just being like, no. That was great.
And then we come back from commercial, and she's still sitting in the ring for some reason. Oh, that's why.
No.
So
that's not how mine played out.
So she's going up the ramp. Randy's coming down.
That is how that happened. But mine literally went from match to up the ramp.
Oh.
They did not do commercial and come back.
Okay, maybe that did. I'm mistaken.
So yeah, because my thing was Randy's music hits as they were doing it, and I thought they would do something, and they basically passed like two ships in the night where they don't acknowledge each other.
Oh no. Lexi was looking at him. Randy's like, that's the girl I just slept with, and I don't want her to notice.
Yeah, Randy did have that a little bit on
They're
his
like,
face.
nope, not gonna look, gonna look.
So then we get to our main event of the night, which is going to be Orton versus Edge. And
I do have to say this.
Okay.
Edge kind of looked like Doc Brown in this match.
So Edge has got this thing that
his hair looked like Doc Brown.
Edge has got the same problem that I have when I have super long hair, which is Edge doesn't, unlike Riddle, who sweats through his hair, he just sweats and his hair gets frizzy and poofs. And it happens to my hair, because Edge has got really fine hair. Yeah. My hair is so fine it's non-existent at this point, right? But Edge's hair it literally rose like an inch off his head because it was just floofy.
Okay, good. It wasn't just me.
He had welts all down his back.
Yeah.
You saw a welt underneath his arm from where the ring rope snapped him when he had that flipped upside down section that he did at the Rumble. It was so great. This story on Edge's half, and I know it sounds like I'm just sucking off Edge, okay? But Edge's story on this half was so good because he's the old, grizzled, beat-up
that he's come back and fought back
No,
from injury.
those guys are in
And
NXT.
no. Damn it. You see, you need to have like just the image pop up over my face right now. He's the grizzled old veteran who fought back, and he's here, and he won the Rumble last night. He's in the record books now for being a number one entry who wins the Rumble. He's one of the longest lasting people in the Rumble at almost or over an hour or something, whatever it is, right? He's got to fight his nemesis, Randy Orton. It's the last thing he's got to do before he goes on and says, I'm going to Mania with that guy, right? And Orton had the same stupid Randy Orton match he has every fucking week.
Randy bump on the announce table. Orton about to strike. Lexa on the corner turnbuckle with blood dripping out of her mouth. Edge hits a huge spear that is barely televised.
Because they cut to a pre-tape of Randy in the ring with Alexa with the blood dripping out of her mouth, which was black blood. And I wrote down, Alexa appears on the top rope like out of my wet dream. And she's got black blood pouring out. Because she's not just sitting on the rope. She's sitting on her knees on the rope, looking at Randy perched, and starts dripping blood out of her mouth. And Randy's like, what? And then we cut back to the live feed, and Edge has already speared him out of his boots. I hate Randy Orton. I hate Randy Orton in this match. You took away everything that made this match great because Edge was beaten and broken and fighting and exhausted. And the idea was that every time Orton would go for the RKO, Edge had an answer to put him down. And Randy did the same selling and the same crap and the same as soon as Randy puts him down. Good God, man. Just cash your paycheck and get the fuck out of there and go home has got to be what's in his mind, right?
Must be, man.
This show was not good. And you know what?
At
least they kind of drug Edge into it at the end with the BS.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they didn't. So it's kind of okay. So the WWE is moving to Peacock on the network. You will get your...
There's some good and there's some really bad.
There's some really, really bad that's going to happen with this, guys.
According to Metzler, so we don't know what's true or not.
I don't trust what Uncle Dave says too much on these things. Even when he's right, he's wrong a lot of times. But the big question that came up, and this was from listening to a little bit of Cornette's show, but also some things that I had talked about when we talked about the music business of the music business, right? And how rights and royalties and things work. The guys still get that stuff, right? Their deals are much different now than what they used to be, which if you guys remember the Coliseum video lawsuit that happened many, many years ago with Vince, where he was not paying royalties for the video sales that he was doing, right? Now you have an entire library, a history of the NWA, of World Class, of Florida, of the AWA, of all of this stuff that the WWE owns that exists that is going to be broadcast on their network that is going to be exclusively rights by Peacock. And there's just a lot of stuff that's happening with this that looks not very good for the wrestlers, the retired people, people who get royalties. If we remember, they did bring it up. I don't know if they ever had the meeting that described how the royalties were going to work when the network first dropped. If they do, they have never explained it. There is the downside guarantees that a lot of guys have. So they're paying a lot of guys upfront money for guaranteed dates that they have. So let's say your contract is 212 days. You hit 212 days, you get downside guarantee for things after that. Kind of like how football agreements work, where if we're going to hire you to be the defensive tackle, but if you do X amounts of this throughout the season, we pay you $1 million bonus at the end of it, which is why guys get $37 million for 15-year contracts and stuff, right? That's typically what you're seeing with the wrestlers. Unfortunately, the wrestlers do not make that because over last weekend, as we talked about, Conor McGregor, I believe they broke it down, made $5,570 for every second he was in the ring. He was guaranteed $5 million to fight. He lost in the second round. He made a crap ton of money to lose. People who are 45, 50, almost pushing 60 like Bill Goldberg probably has a decent deal for what he comes in at. Guys like AJ Styles, who they franchised, probably has a decent deal. I guarantee you guys like I don't know, Drew Gulak. He's probably not getting paid a lot of money right now, guys. So now that Peacock is doing this thing where they're going to charge less for the network, Vince just made $1 billion. It's a $1 billion deal.
Yep.
My thing is Vince is probably thinking, I'm going to die any day now. Mortality is staring me in the face. My immortality is going to be the legacy that I leave behind with the WWE. My legacy is going to be that I died the richest promoter of wrestling ever. Because he has now gotten $2 billion deals in a year.
Fox and then this.
Fox is paying X amount.
And he had some
for
money
5
from
years.
And ESPN was trying to get into this too. So the thing that the other side of the Peacock thing that people are not happy about, if you will, is there's a lot of speculation that unlike the network, which is the network, you're not going to be able to pause live feeds.
Correct.
You're not going to be able to rewind and look at that spot all over again. And unlike the network, where if you start the Royal Rumble late, you can, if you start the Royal Rumble an hour and 15 minutes into the Royal Rumble,
You can hit start from beginning.
right, they're thinking that's not going to be the case. Also, the last thing that they're really worried about is with pay-per-views. If you miss the Royal Rumble and you want to start, 2 minutes after it ends, start from beginning, you can do that. They're thinking it's going to take a couple days for them to, or at least a couple hours.
Because the interesting thing about this that we don't know about, and maybe we'll do a whole topic on this once we have a little bit more of the deal information other than the dollar amounts come out, is guys aren't getting paid on live gate.
Right.
Guys aren't getting paid per attendance. Guys aren't getting paid for merch sales at live booths. Guys aren't getting paid for pay-per-view purchases because that's basically non-existent now.
My question is, what's going to get dropped? Because if you go through the network right now, you can still find the Good Brothers comedy show when they were, there's
I'm
a lot
sure-
of the Jericho's podcasts are still on.
I'm sure that they're going to dump anything that was WWE studio stuff, because essentially the idea, from what I understand, this is kind of how somebody put it out, is that they're thinking that if this is on Peacock, that people scrolling through will see wrestling and tune in to watch it. Except for the fact that no one's actively watching it now because you made the product so awful, because you murdered a human being.